I'm Chris.
No, I'm Chris.
Oh yeah, and I'm Jessica.
And we're here to talk to you about
Fragments,
run-ons, and comma splices.
First, let's talk about fragments. A fragment is an incomplete sentence. It will be missing a subject or a verb, or it will be a dependent clause without an independent clause attached to it. To avoid fragments, pay close attention to periods and semicolons and make sure they enclose complete ideas.
Here are some examples of fragments. The huge rat and the tiny cockroaches by the door.
Here we have no verb. What are the rat and cockroaches doing?
Looking everywhere for a reason to love the Lakers this season.
In this case, we're missing a subject. Who or what is looking?
Because Samantha didn't wake up in time for her board meeting.
This is a dependent clause. That because sets up a condition of cause and effect. So in this case, we need to know what happened because she didn't wake up. Maybe she missed her chance to show off her new product, laptop deodorant.
I could sure use some of that, Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
Fragments can be fixed by adding in missing words, phrases, or clauses. Another way to fix a fragment is to connect them to a sentence that's already in your essay.
Here's some examples of how to fix fragments. The huge rat and the tiny cockroaches by the door decided to start a band.
Now we know what the rat and cockroaches did.
Miss Drawbond was looking everywhere for a reason to love the Lakers this season.
And she never found it. Hoo! But at least now we know who was looking.
Because Samantha didn't wake up in time for her board meeting, her company went bankrupt and the economy collapsed.
Now we know what happened because she didn't wake up in time.
Now let's talk about run-ons. A run-on is a sentence that includes more than one independent clause but does not join them correctly. Use conjunctions, periods, or semicolons to fix these issues.
Here's an example. I gave a student an F, my tires got slashed. Cold-blooded.
We have two separate ideas here. I gave a student an F and my tires got slashed.
Here are 3 ways to fix it.
1. A period.
I gave a student an F, period, my tires got slashed.
2. A semicolon.
I gave a student an F, semicolon, my tires got slashed.
And 3. A conjunction.
I gave a student an F, so my tires got slashed.
Sometimes run-ons need a different kind of special treatment.
That's one thing I never learned in college. Never make your uncle your manager.
Here, just a period or semicolon won't work because the second half is actually a fragment. Instead, use a full colon to connect the incomplete half to the complete half. 1. Colon.
That's one thing I never learned in college. Colon, never make your uncle your manager.
Or add words to create 2 complete sentences. 2. Adding words.
That's one thing that I never learned in college. Semicolon. You should never make your uncle your manager.
Now let's talk about comma splices. A comma splice is a run-on that uses just a comma to combine multiple complete ideas. Just like run-ons, you can use conjunctions, periods, or semicolons to fix these issues.
Our first date was a disaster. She kept flirting with my dad.
We have 2 separate ideas here. Our first date was a disaster, and she kept flirting with my dad. A comma isn't strong enough by itself to join these together.
It sure isn't.
There's 3 ways to fix this. 1. A period.
Our first date was a disaster. Period. She kept flirting with my dad.
2. A semicolon.
Our first date was a disaster. Semicolon. She kept flirting with my dad.
And 3. Conjunction.
Our first date was a disaster because she kept flirting with my dad.
Yikes.
Now that you know a little bit more about fragments, run-ons, and comma splices, you'll be able to use these skills in this practice to apply to your own essays to help proofread, fix your own mistakes, and get better grades on your work.
We'll see you next time for another grammar video. Bye!
Bye!